105.9 Academy FM.
The sound of Folkestone.
This week, we've been hearing interviews done by students at the Folkestone Academy as part of the Wellcome Trust Science Project. Now, this interview that I'm just about to play out was done by a man who's just featured in our community contacts feature, so that's quite strange. Here's Helen Sharp with more information on what goes on here as part of Academy FM Folkestone.
Hi, I'm Helen and I run the Wellcome Trust Young Science Broadcasters project, and this is an opportunity for young people to ask scientific questions to local professionals about any aspect of life they're interested in. This project is funded by the Wellcome Trust, an organisation that promotes the public understanding of science, and as Academy FM Folkestone is a charity, we rely on donations and grants to run the station and the projects that we offer here. So a few weeks ago, Zack, a student here at the Academy, and I wandered out over the football pitch to meet Mr. Wood, who is a former professional footballer, used to play for Charlton Athletic, and he's now a teacher here at the Folkestone Academy School. Zack is pretty keen on football. I have to admit that I am not, but I have learnt a few things through talking to Zack and Mr. Wood, and we brought a football with us, so spoke to Mr. Wood about the technicalities behind a kick around.
Let's have another go. Good, well done. Good, well done.
So at the moment, Mr. Woods is kicking the ball to Zack, who is receiving the ball. Now, you are using your right foot most of the time, and you're sticking it out to one side as if you're doing some sort of, kick off to one side, and you're touching it with the bottom of your foot. So is that a normal way to touch the ball?
Well, surprisingly, in a lot of American countries, South America in particular, they actually teach the students to actually control it with the bottom of their foot. That's why the influence of futsal and other games like five-a-side have been so influential to players in Spanish leagues, Brazilian leagues, and you will see that they will control the ball with the bottom of their foot a lot more regularly now, compared to obviously once upon a time when football in England started, where you were always taught to use the inside of your foot. The one thing that Zack could do to improve slightly is he seems quite flat-footed when he's waiting for the ball. So what he could do is get on his toes and start jogging maybe when he's waiting for the ball, and obviously keep his chin up the whole time. So then he's looking to see where the ball's coming from, and maybe if someone's going to try and tackle him and things like that.
So I can understand that if you keep your chin up and you're looking for the ball,
Yep.
you can see it.
Mm-hmm.
What's the dancing around going to do to better his technique?
It's slightly easier to just keep yourself on your toes, just in case the ball is passed into an off direction. If the pass isn't very good from someone else, he's already on his toes, ready to sprint. If he's flat-footed, it could just go straight past him. And if he's on his toes, he might be more able to move quickly off his toes.
So he's already in a moving sort of position to get up and go, rather than having to start off.
Exactly.
Right.
And you never know what could happen. Someone could be right behind you marking you. Someone could be coming in from the side. Who knows, the referee could be right behind you and you might bump into him. So it's just a case of trying to keep yourself on your toes so that you can look around behind you as well, see who's marking you, see who's right behind you in a game situation.
So Zack, come a bit closer. So when we were talking earlier, Zack was explaining to me, because I know nothing about football, that you could also touch the ball on your shin or the top of your foot.
Yep.
So why would you want to do that?
Because if it's in the air and you need to control it down, you could just touch it down, so on your shin, so you could just maybe pass it.
So is there a special technique for that?
Well, I totally agree with what Zack said. A lot of football teams will play different tactics and different techniques of basically passing the ball. A lot of teams that you may have heard of, obviously Spain, love to keep the ball on the floor and do lots of quick passes. But some teams will like to knock the ball long in the air for players such as Andy Carroll, maybe Peter Crouch, that you might have heard of. Very tall players that they've got an advantage over the other players, so because they're quite tall. And like Zack said, you can use your chest, you can use your head, you can use your knee. Okay, there's other places where you can have a good touch, but they're more likely players to try and use those sort of body parts rather than the inside of your foot. That's obviously the first thing you're looking to try and work on. If you're a young footballer trying to improve your football touch, then it would be in the passing situation. But as you get better and better and older, you'll be looking to control with your knee, chest, head, as well as obviously your foot.
So Zack, I'm guessing you're not the tallest on the team. No. What sort of technique should he be thinking and working on at the moment?
A game that I used to play when we when I was young, trying to learn football was Tony Chestnut, trying to use your toe, your knee, your chest and your head to try and control the ball and try and keep it off the floor and try and use all those body parts without it touching the floor. So little things like that. But there's also his Japanese cousin, which is head, chest, knee, toe. So try and do it the other way around. So there's all different types of things you can do to try and improve touching as many different body positions as possible. So for a 12-year-old, anything he can do is trying to improve his game. But obviously playing more games will help as well.
So do you want to have a go at Tony Chestnut?
Yeah, I can have a go.
So what we're looking to try and do, Zack, is obviously trying to touch the ball in the air with your toe, your knee, your chest and your head all in one go without it touching the floor. Oh, unlucky.
Oh, we got Tony chest. Toe, knee, chest. Oh.
It's always very hard to get from that chest to the head.
It
Why don't you
is.
try his Japanese cousin? Head, chest, knee, toe. So go down the body. So kick it up nice and high up in the air and see if you can get the head, the chest.
Head, chest, knee.
Oh, unlucky. We got head, chest, knee.
I'm guessing this is quite hard because you've moved quite a way away from us now. It's quite hard to do that on the spot.
Yeah.
So is that something else that comes with practice?
Yeah, of course. I mean, obviously, one thing that obviously young people love nowadays is Wayne Rooney's Street Striker. I don't know if you've heard of it, but he started his own TV programme where it was literally just on skills in the middle of the streets. Because one thing that he did before he started playing professional footballer, very similar to Maradona, Pele, people like that would just play on the streets. Okay, he would literally just go on the streets and just do anything he could, and sometimes he would get his mates to throw a football off the top floor of a building in a council estate and see if he can control it with a body part without it going too far away from him. So I mean, obviously the more and more you practice, the smaller the area will be that you keep moving into. But obviously if you've got plenty of space, then there's nothing stopping young people just playing football on their own or with a couple of mates and doing little things to try and improve on their touch.
So focusing on the foot, because we were talking about, Zack and I were talking about the foot, and Zack was explaining that you actually use many different parts of your foot in order to control the ball. I thought you'd just kick it and you'd kick it with the front of your foot, like your toe or something. So how do you control this ball?
Well, I mean, obviously, in a game situation, you never know what's going to happen or who's going to move where or where the ball's going to come from. So there's obviously many different parts of the foot that it could touch first. So you need to try and practice with as many as you can. Obviously, you've got the outside of your foot, the inside of your foot, what we like to call the laces, and obviously, like we talked about as well, the bottom of your foot. So in a game situation, it could come from the outside, so you might need to control it with the outside of your foot. Okay, if you're looking to do a further pass, more than about 10 yards, you're looking to try and use your laces and what they call a driven pass. Okay, so obviously when we're talking about touch, it could hit any part of your body. So sometimes it's nice to try using the outside of your foot, the laces, bottom of your foot and the inside of your foot. So depending on what might happen in the game. So
now, I haven't watched that much football, but when I do, it seems that they don't actually dance around the ball that much. The ball comes to them and then woof, it's gone off to somebody else. So that all happens in a really quick time.
Yeah, very quickly. I mean, obviously these guys are professional footballers and you're not watching Sunday League stuff, so at the end of the day the professional footballers have been doing it for years and years and years, so when the pass comes to them, it's normally straight to their feet. They don't have to move anywhere. That's why obviously they need to be on their toes just in case, but it's very rare that a pass won't come straight to their feet because they're professional footballers. But at a lower standard and a younger standard, when people are playing the game and trying to learn the game, they might have to be on their toes and they might have to control it with different parts of their body. But sometimes you'll control it with a part of your body that means you can pass quicker. So being the outside of your foot or inside or what have you. So
come on a little bit closer, it's a little bit windy. Now, you were talking about headers. Let's talk about headers and where you need to place the ball on your head in order to hit it. Do you want to ask that question?
Yeah, how do you header it properly, and where's the best place?
Well, there are two types of headers, a defensive header and an attacking header. Okay, a defensive header, you're looking to try and get it as far away as possible because you don't want it anywhere near your goalkeeper. You want to try and get it away from danger. Okay, and the danger being that the other team might score. Okay, and an attacking header, you look to try and hit it down, so it's very difficult for a goalkeeper to get down to the floor. Okay, so in a given situation, if you were defending the ball, then you're looking to try and get it as far away from problems, and if it's going towards the goal, you're looking to try and make it difficult for the opposition, so heading it down. Okay, do we want to practice those two headers?
Whereabouts on the head do you hit it? Because I'm guessing that could be crucial.
You're
you're
looking straight for the middle of your forehead, and one big mistake that some young people make, okay, is that they keep their eyes closed. you must keep your eyes open as much as you can, okay, because obviously you don't know which direction it's heading in, okay. There might also be someone else trying to head the ball at the same time, so you need to try and keep your eyes open so you know whether you need to duck or move to the left or move to the right to try and avoid an injury at the same time. But the main middle of your forehead is what you're looking to try and achieve.
What's going to happen if you don't hit the middle of your forehead, you hit actually somewhere else on your head? Are you going to actually damage yourself?
I wouldn't say you would damage yourself, but I'm suggesting the weakest area of your body and your face is probably your nose. If it hits your nose, you'll probably know about it. And if someone kicks the ball at your face, then you'd probably know about it as well. But if you hit in the middle of the top of your head, okay, sometimes it'll hurt for a couple of minutes, and it's not the best position to head a ball because it's just going to go straight up in the air, and you haven't got any direction whatsoever. If you use your neck muscles properly, then you can direct the ball in any direction you want whatsoever using the middle of your forehead. So that's what you're aiming for.
So you're going to have to build up your neck muscles in doing this as well.
Yeah.
So what sort of exercises do you do to build up your neck muscles?
Well, one thing that I do before any game, any training session whatsoever, is work my way from head to toe with all my stretches. So important, so you don't pull any muscles, so you get yourself ready for a game situation basically. And I always make sure that it's probably the most important part of the body to stretch is your neck muscles, because you're turning quickly, you're looking around the whole pitch, and obviously you're heading. So that's one thing that needs to happen very, very importantly, because that's one of the biggest areas that you can actually collect cramp in, believe it or not. It's in your neck muscles. So yeah, it's very, very important to make sure you're stretching before you go into a game situation, especially your neck muscles.
So basically you're looking up,
looking down, looking to the left, looking to the right, making sure you're moving your head around in a big circle, and you're looking to do that for at least a minute before any game, and you should be doing 12 to 15 seconds on all the other muscles as well.
So there you go. Right, so go on, practice a header then, if you're up for that.
Defensive header first. So what we're looking for you to do is a nice big header back into my hands. Okay, back into my hands, alright? Good lad, well done. Good start. Oh, well done. So try and get that. So you're now trying to head it down to my toes. Okay, trying to head it down to my toes. Not bad, not bad. Perfect, absolutely perfect. And again, good man, superb. Well done, very good indeed.
So how did that feel?
Good.
For the purposes of radio, anything more? We need anything more.
Good.
So you were hitting it. So describe which part of the head you were using.
The middle of my forehead.
And did that feel comfortable?
Yeah.
So it doesn't hurt when you hit that part of your head?
No, it doesn't hurt.
And you were managing to direct it exactly where Mr. Wood was asking you to do that. So you were going for the feet if it was an attacking header and everything. And that was easy to do?
Yeah, it was easy.
And did you keep your eyes open?
I don't know. I think I close my eyes sometimes.
He did pretty well.
Excellent. So what were the other things we were talking about? We were talking about also protection as well, that you would need to wear protection. So what sort of protection? Describe to me your football kit.
Well, thermal top if it's cold or raining, a normal top, trousers, like maybe thermal shorts, thingies, shin pads and ankle protections and socks.
So why do you have ankle protection?
Like just in case if someone goes for the slide tackle and they slide you, and if it catches your ankle and if it's serious, then you could damage your ankle. And
what about, do you ever use your ankle as part of the foot to hit the ball?
No, not.
Why not?
Because it's just, if you try to strike it with your ankle, then it might miss here and might just totally miss.
So you haven't really got control of the ball if you're going to use it like that. Okay then, and the shin pads, why do you have shin pads?
Just in case if someone goes for your leg, they'll just give it some extra protection.
Do you get a lot of broken legs in football then?
I wouldn't say a lot, but it does happen. I'm not going to lie to you, it's a very dangerous game, and it can be a very dangerous game if it's not played in the right way. It's not played in the right situation, it's not played with the right officials and safety equipment, like you said, shin pads, etc, and ankle protection. And it can be a very dangerous game, and broken ankles and broken legs do happen, but luckily enough, obviously it doesn't happen very, very often if it's controlled in the right way by the referee.
Now I understand now why they have those metatarsal injuries if you're using the top of your foot, so the laces area, to kick the ball. It's surprising you don't get more metatarsal injuries, those bones on the top connecting your toes. Yeah,
I agree, and it's something that does happen quite regularly, because obviously the ankles are moving so constantly in a game situation. They're changing directions so quickly nowadays. I mean, players like Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi, they move so quickly and their ankles move so quickly, and to be perfectly honest, it's quite a fragile part of the body as well. So yeah, it does happen, and physios nowadays at professional football clubs are going into massive details about how to protect your ankles and look after them, and that's another area of the body, like we said about the neck muscles, that need to be stretched fully, looked after fully, and make sure that young people are looking after them properly as they go through their football career.
So if you are a retired professional footballer, does that mean that you've got aches and pains that a normal person wouldn't have?
I wouldn't say it as a normal person, as it were, but I've had my injuries, and that's hence one of the reasons why I wasn't offered a professional contract for longer. As far as injuries go, I wouldn't say aches and pains now. I'm fully recovered now, but at the same time, at the time, I wasn't as strong, as quick, as fast as some of the other players that were there at the time. So no aches and pains now, luckily enough, and I'm obviously putting my football expertise into different areas here at Folkestone Academy. So
thank you, Mr. Wood, for doing this.
Absolutely no problem at all.